Hey everyone, I'm Ayush. I am building Pesto, and I've been doing this for about last couple of years. We train people who are software developers in India, and we help them go remote and work at global companies. We have been doing this for last couple of years, and we truly believe in the work being distributed in the future. And today I will talk about the challenges, the benefits, etc. of remote work, and focus a lot on the tools which you can use to maximize your productivity as well as happiness.
Thank you, Ayush, for joining us today and for agreeing to speak to us on this very interesting topic about how to make work from home or even remote working more productive. The first question that I would have for you is when we look at the traditional ways and the techniques and the technology of working and collaborating. You have the Slack, you have Hangouts and stuff like that. Are they good enough for us to carry on with the kind of work that we are doing now? Or do you think there are some inherent limitations in all of this?
I think there will always be limitations, Fran. I think there is always pros and cons of different ways of working. But I feel that the way the ecosystem is evolving, right? We did have certain enough tools to get the entire tech team on board, right? And I think people who are used to, for example, take meetings, whose job is more people centric, were finding it difficult to cope up, right? But I think in last 6 months or so, we have seen immense growth in towards solving those problems as well. There are a bunch of very interesting tools which have come up, which are quite promising, and I think they are able to solve those problems as well. So I think those problems are being solved. I think we have enough with respect to collaboration and communication tools. And
Right,
I think as the world opens up and people are more able to go out, not necessarily work with each other, but
right.
not become confined to their homes as well, I think they will find it more comfortable to sort of work from home.
Can you tell us some of these tools that it can be some of your favorites or something that you've really tried out and you've really liked, uh, which can make life easier for all of us working from home and trying to tame this beast?
Uh-huh. Sure. I mean, I can sort of bring up couple of them which I enjoy the most. I think one of the biggest things when it comes to sort of remote work, which was challenging, was presentations, right?
Right.
And async communication and documentation was one way of doing it, but building people sort of skills and sort of finding more efficient ways to do presentations was difficult, right? Like if I present you something, I would share my screen, and then the screen would be visible, I wouldn't be, and things like that.
Yes.
There is one tool which is called and the reason it's named is because you can say it while having your lunch as well, right? So it's double M H double M, right?
Okay.
One of the coolest tools which I've come across in last few months. This basically makes use of your background and makes you productive by using your background, right? So I can basically change my background, and not only that, I can use my background as something which I can use for presentation. I'll give you a quick example. Let's say I'm giving a presentation to my team. I can have a presentation here, and because I'm actually coming between you and the screen, I can quickly become smaller, right? And
Right.
now you can see the screen, right? And now I can actually give the presentation, move around here, and keep talking to you, and keep clicking on this, clicking on the slides. Tell you importance of time, accountability, trust, ownership, blah blah blah, right?
Right.
You can also become a Yoda, or something funnier, and read capacity just to have fun, and can point out to things, on screen. We don't have graphs now, but I can sort of point out to things, that this book is really cool.
Hmm.
You should check it out, so on and so forth. And I can also go full screen on that, right? So I think this is something. Oops, 1 second. Yeah, my bad. So this is something which is something exciting, which came up in recent times. And of course there are a bunch of features which keeps rolling out. You can do full screen and sort of do the same presentation by sort of changing your things sort of constantly.
Right.
And I think that is great advantage, especially when it comes to giving presentations, right? So I think this is one really good progress which I see happening with respect to presentation or collaboration aspect. There are a bunch of other tools which came up. Like there's a tool called Pitch, which basically is about creating presentations and collaborating over it, right? Which allows the users the presentation which I was just sharing with you. I can quickly, you can see my screen again. There you go. I can actually drop comments on this as well. That if I look at the comments here, I can invite my team to collaborate here. I can write that, guys, let's focus on being, simple, right? I can type that. I can tag my friends, and they can review at their own pace. And this collaboration can happen over this presentation. And design is simple, and all of those sort of horizontal incremental sort of uh, progress has happened with respect to technology as well. So I think a bunch of tools in
What is the
collaboration
name
have
of
come
this
up with.
tool?
So this one is called Pitch. It's they have launched their beta. They haven't really did a public launch, but
Okay.
they've shared it with 500 people. It's a pretty impressive tool though. And yeah, I think that there are a bunch of others which we'll keep discussing throughout this call.
Wonderful, wonderful. So that
Yeah,
is one part of it, presentation. Uh, then there are other parts. When you come to having to work remotely, what are some of the other things that come to your mind?
got it. I think one of the biggest things is communication, right? I think people struggle with communication, and especially one big problem which was there, that building that social collaboration, and we struggled with it as well, right? I mean, when a team was small, it was difficult. As the team grew, and new people came in, they did not really get to know each other at a personal level, right? Um, so I think solving that was a big problem, right? And there are again a bunch of tools who are looking at this. Last time I talked about Remotion. This time, just for the equilibrium, I'll talk about Tandem. It's another one in the same space, and I can show you the website to talk about how they work. So Tandem is basically a tool in which your team sits with you, right, on your home screen. They will always be here. You can see who all are online. You can create rooms just like you enter certain rooms in real life. You can create rooms of people and see who which two people are in the room. You can quickly jump in. No permission, no sort of scheduling required, right? Like for example, there's a room called Good Morning. When you start your day, just jump in that room and say good morning and hi to people, right?
Mhm.
There's a room which you can create around no agenda meetings, right? So if you are slightly tired from work, you just want to chill and talk to people regarding random things, you can enter that room, and people will get notified, and whenever they're free they can jump back in as
The
well.
water cooler as well over there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's I think people are looking for no agenda calls as a replacement for water coolers. I think waterfalls are the real replacement for water coolers. I'll explain how. I think as teams go remote, the spend, at least I can say at Pesto, the money which used to be spent in office space, uh, spending that money on collaboration tools is much cheaper, and that gives us the ability to actually host an offsite every quarter, or twice a year or thrice a year, more frequent offsites, right? And we can actually go out to certain places which are weekend getaways, etc., and spend some really good 3 to 4 days. And the relationships which are formed in those 3 to 4 days really brings that community feeling, and people start enjoying and build real relationships, right? So I think the frequency of that might not be every day, but I think the quality of relationships which you will form will be much better. So I think water coolers replacement is definitely waterfalls.
Right. So, what about time management? That's something that we are all struggling with, probably because the boundaries between work
Uh-huh.
what constitutes work and what constitutes a personal life is
Okay.
blurring. So,
Yes.
is there something where we can manage time?
I think it's super simple. Let me check my calendar if there's something which I don't want to share. But I think having your calendar you know super organized and just putting everything there is is great in general, right? I'll again show you something which I find extremely impressive. There's a tool called Motion, right? What Motion does is that it mixes your to-do list and your calendar. So if I create a to-do list saying chat with Pran, right? Now I can take this. There's 30 minutes assigned to this, which means that I'm assigning time to a task, and then I can quickly take it and plot it on my calendar.
Yeah.
And whenever that time comes, I know what exactly I have to work on. And whenever I get that done, I just check that, and it's done. Right? It'll get removed from my calendar. So I think that's a beautiful way of using calendar for time management, in my opinion. The second thing about how do you separate your work and life, right? The first point was about time management. How do you really keep yourself productive? I think this is a great way of doing that. The second point is how do you sort of blur the lines? I think it's actually a very healthy habit to have a different workspace for your work if you can inside your house. It can be anywhere. Having a table, chair, an office setup, a simple office setup is extremely important. And staying in the zone when you're there and then when you're not there, that aspect really helps. Some
Mm.
people like dressing up as well, and they sort of change clothes when they're at home, and that sort of helps them mentally absorb it in a much more efficient way. But I think fixing your schedule is extremely important. That consistently knowing from what time do you work till what time is extremely important. Otherwise, your sleep cycle will get screwed up, and that is a common pattern we have seen happening with everyone. And I think if you take care of sleep cycle and sort of maintain the boundary in a nice way, it can be really nice. And maintaining that is extremely important because people tend to burn out, right?
Yeah.
And one last point, by the way, around time zone, right? There's a very cool thing I came across. It's also there in the browser, so you can actually use it, in your Chrome browsers on Mac or
So it's a browser
or
extension.
exactly.
Okay.
This tool is called Figure It Out. It's quite impressive. So the way it works is that you can basically look at 2 to 3 time zones in which you operate and set it up here. You can also have more time zones, vertically here.
Right.
And when I have to schedule time, let's say in San Francisco, somebody tells me let's chat at 11 a.m. It's quite complicated at times to go and find out what 11 a.m. would be in India, and if
Right.
somebody else is in Brazil, then what time would be there, or in New York, right? So if there are 2, 3 time zones across which you collaborate, I think if you just change the time here, 11 a.m., the time in rest of the places will change automatically, and then you can quickly schedule a calendar invite or send people a calendar invite directly from here, right? And create that event. So I think we find this very productive for scheduling and managing time zones, etc.
I think when you have people across different geographies, I think that will come very handy.
Yeah, that's right.
Wonderful. So time is done. Is there anything else that comes to your mind?
Yeah, I think there is a lot of things. So I'll try to break it into 3 different aspects. I think there are tools which you need for collaboration, right? And I can just go on and naming them and talk about them quickly so that people can
Yes.
actually
Yes.
later go back and work on that. I think at this point everybody is aware of Slack, Zoom, etc., right? Which are quite productive for them. But I think Tandem is a really good one which solves the social aspect of a team. Then we have Notion, which is again very popular, uh, used for documentation to keep everybody aligned. I think for creating a company's wiki, that one is very important. Couple of tools I would like to sort of bring up, which are massive. One is Figma for collaborating over design, right? Figma.
Okay. Figma. Okay.
FIGMA, right? So I think that is a really, really great one for collaborating over design and new projects which come up. And the second one is jam.dev, jam.dev. I think this one is another one which I've been having fun with lately, which helps you sort of build new products, have feedback cycle really well. There's another one called Use Bubbles, which does something similar, and I think these are quite impressive. With respect to productivity, I think three tools which I use quite often is rescue time, which helps you manage your time in a much more efficient way. I talked about it last time as well. I think it's the go-to. It tells me how much time I'm investing in what, and I think that's a great insight to have. The other one is the to-do list. I used to use TickTick. Now I'm using Motion, which helps you
What
point
happened to Tick Tick?
exact. So I think I find the whole concept of creating a to-do list, giving assigning it some time, and then plotting it on your calendar concept really fascinating, because now you're not just creating a to-do list, you're also creating accountability for yourself. So when you miss tasks, it kind of like piles up, right? So you
Right.
really have that mindset that you have to be at zero inbox sort of concept, right? Um, so I think that one is pretty cool. And the third one is for emails, Superhuman. People who are doing a lot of emails, I think Superhuman can be a very, very efficient productivity tool. Um, and the third aspect, which I was talking about with respect to communication with your team, I think for communication, there are a few which are very, very useful. One is Loom, LOOM, in which you can create the recording of your screen while also having a small face in the corner by which you talk to them, in that particular manner. And it gets uploaded on the web. It requires no sort of downloading, uploading. You get a link, you can quickly send it across. Couple of others are Monosnap, which is pretty efficient with respect to taking screenshots and uploading it and pointing out, what's happening where, etc. And the last one I would say again would be Tandem. I think just being on the go and pinging people, like the tap on the shoulder feeling, it really makes you not feel lonely because you know that people are online. I can quickly tap them and talk to them. So
Super.
that's
Super. Great. I think those are some wonderful, I think, tools that you've talked about, and I think almost all of them I've not heard of. So, yeah, I think good to know about some new stuff and some very cool stuff, which I'm sure I'll be trying out as well. Before we close, in these last 6 months, you are someone who's always worked remotely, but in this 6 months, what is it that you have learned from working remotely and working away from an office? And what should people look at when in terms of tips and tricks when it comes to remote working? How do you become more productive? Just a few things, on top of your mind, if you can just recollect.
I think my top of the thing, like basically, if I look at it from macro, I feel everybody is running after productivity without realizing that the whole concept of going remote makes sure that everything you do becomes measurable. And the moment everything you do becomes measurable, earlier you were spending time in office, so the time you have spent in office made you feel like you're working. um, and now that time has zero value unless you convert it into something productive. So I think the nature, the default state of somebody working, if they're working, uh, they're bound to be productive. I think what people need to focus on, rather, is happiness. I feel I am doing about 13 to 15 hours on Zoom every day. I'm trying to reduce it. It's not healthy at all. But I think it is what it is, right? Like when things are scheduled, you tend to do more meetings, and I think productivity automatically gets expanded. And that's the similar feedback I've had from most of my friends who were earlier against remote work, right? They said it's wonderful. It's so much productive. It's economical for them. People are happy because they're at home and things like that. But I think the problems with remote work is loneliness, is lack of social life, uh, is that building that culture, etc. And I think you need to make conscious efforts in order to do that. So I really feel that it's time that people build processes so that the productivity is in check. And because everything is measurable and you have expectations straight, I would really like to see people focusing more on sort of focusing more on employee well-being, happiness, and how do you really make people happy while working from home. So I think that'll be the next thing.
Great. Thank you so much, Ayush, for talking to us. And like I mentioned, it's been a learning in terms of the kind of tools and the kind of the technology that's available to us today to make our work from home and remote working much easier. Like I mentioned, I will definitely try out a few of these tools myself. And again, thank you for joining us and taking us through this entire learning series. Thank you, Ayush.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for hosting me.